I used to think evil was loud, that it shouted, that it showed its teeth. I was wrong. Sometimes evil speaks softly. Sometimes it smiles. Sometimes it brings you tea and asks if you've eaten. That's the kind of evil she was. Her name was Mara. To everyone else, she was Auntie. To me, she was my girlfriend's mother. To my family, she was a guest we treated like blood. To herself, she was something else entirely. A woman who believed people existed for one reason: to be used. I met her the first time I went to my girlfriend's house. I remember the smell of cardamom in the air, the sound of some old TV show playing in the background, and the way my girlfriend squeezed my hand before we walked in. "She's very sweet," my girlfriend whispered. "Just a bit dramatic sometimes. Don't mind it." I nodded. I was nervous. I thought I was about to meet a strict, protective mother. Instead, I met a performance. Mara walked out of the kitchen with a tray in her hands. Her face lit up like she'd been waiting her whole life for this moment. "There he is," she said, smiling. "The boy I've heard so much about." Her voice was soft. Her eyes were warm. Her hands were gentle when she handed me the tea. She asked me about my work, my family, my plans. She listened carefully, nodding, smiling, reacting at all the right moments. If you saw her that day, you'd think she was the kind of woman who would never hurt anyone. You'd think she was kind. You'd be wrong, because that day, while I was answering her questions, she wasn't just listening. She was studying. She was collecting information, measuring my income, measuring my ambition, measuring how useful I could be. I didn't know it then, but that was the first day she added me to her list. Mara had a talent. She knew exactly how to become whatever people needed her to be. To my girlfriend, she was the caring, overprotective mother who just wanted the best for her daughter. To my family, she was the grateful woman who always said, "You people are like my own." To her neighbors, she was the polite lady who smiled and greeted everyone. To the people she needed, she was humble. To the people she used, she was sweet. To the people she stepped on, she was invisible. She lived two lives, one that everyone saw, and one that only showed itself in small, sharp moments, like a knife glinting for a second before disappearing again. The first crack appeared the day my father helped her. It started small. We were sitting at our dining table when my father said, "Your girlfriend's mother is going through some financial issues. She mentioned some debts. I think we should help." My mother hesitated. "How much?" He told her the amount. It wasn't small. My mother frowned. "That's not a favor. That's a rescue." He shrugged. "She's alone. No husband, no support. She treats our son like her own. We can't just watch." I stayed quiet. I remembered the way Mara had spoken about money before, how she always slipped it into conversations. Life is so expensive now. Everything is about money. People only respect you when you have something. At the time, I thought it was just stress. Now I know it was obsession. My father helped her. He transferred the money. She cried on the phone. She said, "You've saved my life." She said, "I will never forget this." She said, "You people are my family now." She didn't forget. She just remembered it differently. To her, it wasn't help. It was proof. Proof that we were useful. After that, she started visiting more. She'd sit with my mother and talk for hours. At first, it looked like friendship. Two women sharing stories, laughing, complaining about life. But if you listen closely, you'd notice something. Mara never shared anything that made her look weak. She only shared things that made her look like a victim of circumstances, never of her own choices. My relatives never helped me. My own family turned their back on me. I did everything alone. I sacrificed so much for my children. Every sentence was a carefully placed brick in the image she was building. The image of a woman who deserved help, who deserved sympathy, who deserved loyalty. And slowly my mother started to believe it. "She's had a hard life," my mother would say. "Not everyone is as lucky as us." Lucky. That's what we thought we were. We weren't lucky. We were targeted. Mara's double life became clearer the more time I spent around her. In front of us, she was soft, grateful, emotional. But sometimes, when she thought no one was watching, her face changed. The softness disappeared. The warmth drained out. Her eyes went flat, calculating. I saw it once when she was on the phone. She was in the kitchen, her back to me. I walked in quietly to get water. Her voice was different, colder, sharper. "I don't care what they think," she said into the phone. "If they're not useful, I don't need them." She paused, listening. Then she laughed. A short, dry laugh I'd never heard from her before. "People are stupid," she said. "You just have to know what to say. They'll give you everything." I froze. She turned around and saw me. In less than a second, her face changed. The coldness vanished. The smile returned. Her eyes softened. "Oh, you scared me," she said, pressing a hand to her chest. "I didn't hear you come in." I forced a smile. I didn't ask who she was talking about. I didn't ask who was stupid. I didn't ask who was giving her everything. I didn't need to. I already knew. The betrayal didn't happen all at once. It happened in layers. First, she became close to my family. Then she became dependent. Then she became entitled. She started asking for small things. "Can you help me with this bill? Can you check this document? Can you talk to someone for me?" Every request was wrapped in guilt. "You're the only ones I have. I don't trust anyone else. I feel safe with you people." My parents helped, I helped, we all did, because we thought we were helping someone who appreciated it. We didn't realize we were being trained to say yes, trained to feel responsible, trained to feel guilty if we ever said no. Then came the social climbing. Mara started using our name. We found out by accident. A family friend mentioned it at a gathering. "Oh, we met your future in-laws," he said to my father. "Very nice woman. She spoke highly of you." My father frowned. "Future in-laws?" "Yes, your son's girlfriend's mother. She said you're like her brother. She mentioned your position. Very impressive." My father smiled politely. "We started hearing it more. She said you're helping her with a business deal. She said you're supporting her financially. She said your family's backing her." Every time, it was the same pattern. She used our reputation as currency. Our name opened doors for her. Our kindness became her leverage. Our support became her status. To others, she presented herself as a woman with powerful connections. To us, she presented herself as a helpless victim. 2 lives, 2 faces, 1 goal: benefit. The family friend betrayal came next. There was a couple my parents were very close to. They'd known them for years, trusted them, shared everything with them. Mara met them at a gathering. She was quiet at first, observing, listening. Then she started talking, not about herself, about us. She told them stories, not lies, not exactly, just edited versions of the truth. She exaggerated our financial stability. She exaggerated how much we helped her. She exaggerated how generous we were. She made it sound like we had endless resources, like money meant nothing to us, like helping her was nothing. Then she did something worse. She started planting seeds. "I feel guilty," she told them. "They do so much for me. I don't know how to repay them." The couple, wanting to be kind, said, "You're like family to them. Don't feel guilty." She smiled. That was all she needed. Because later, when she needed something from them, she used us again. "They help me so much," she told them, "but I don't want to bother them with this. Can you help instead?" She made it sound like she was protecting us. In reality, she was expanding her network of people to use. When my parents found out, it was through a slip. The wife of that couple mentioned it casually. "We helped Mara with something," she said. "She didn't want to trouble you again. You people already do so much for her." My mother went silent. Again, that word kept coming back. Again, how many times? How many people? How many stories? We didn't know. We only knew one thing. We weren't the only ones she was using. We were just the ones closest to her. The double life became impossible to ignore when my girlfriend started to suffer. At first it was small. Her mother would say things like, "Your boyfriend's family is so lucky, they have everything. You should be grateful he chose you." It sounded like praise. It wasn't. It was pressure. Then she started comparing. "Look at what his parents do for him. Look at how they support him. Do you think he'll do the same for me when I'm old?" My girlfriend would come to me, eyes tired. "She keeps saying things like that," she said. "Like I owe her something because you exist." I tried to calm her. "She's just stressed," I said. "She's alone. She's scared about the future." I wanted to believe that. I wanted to believe there was some fear, some insecurity, some wound behind her behavior. But the more I watched her, the more I realized something. She wasn't scared. She was calculating. The real face showed itself the day we said no. It was a simple request. Too simple. She wanted money again. Not a small amount, not an emergency. An investment. "There's an opportunity," she said, sitting in our living room. "If I put in this amount now, I'll get double in a few months. I just need someone to help me with the initial amount." My father was quiet. My mother looked uncomfortable. I watched her carefully. Her eyes weren't desperate. They were expectant. Like she already knew the answer. Like she was used to getting what she wanted. My father cleared his throat. "I think we've helped enough for now," he said gently. "We have our own responsibilities too. I'm sure you understand." The room went cold. For a second, her face froze. Just a second. Then she smiled. "Of course," she said. "I didn't mean to pressure you. I was just asking. Forget I said anything." She laughed. But her eyes didn't. Something had changed. Something small. Something sharp. A line had been crossed, not by us, by her. Because in her mind, we had broken the unspoken contract. We were no longer behaving like tools. We were behaving like people with boundaries. And people with boundaries are useless to someone like her. The shift was subtle at first. She stopped visiting as often, stopped calling my mother as much, stopped acting as emotional. But with my girlfriend, she became worse. She started saying things like, "You don't know how much I've sacrificed for you. Other daughters do more for their mothers. Some people's in-laws help their wife's family more. It wasn't about love. It wasn't about care. It was about leverage." She wanted my girlfriend to feel guilty, to feel like she owed her, to feel like she had to compensate for what we didn't give. She turned my girlfriend into a bridge between her and us. And when the bridge didn't carry enough weight, she started breaking it. She began to attack quietly, not directly, not openly, in small, poisonous ways. She'd say things to my girlfriend like, "Are you sure his family really likes you? They're very polite, but I don't feel warmth. I think they look down on us." Then she'd say things about me. "He's a good boy, but he listens to his parents too much. He will always choose them over you. Be careful. Don't give your whole heart." She was trying to do two things at once: pull her daughter closer, push us further away, because if she couldn't use us directly, she'd use us as emotional weapons. She wanted my girlfriend to feel like we were the problem, not her. Never her. The social climbing didn't stop. She just changed targets. She started getting close to other families, richer ones, more influential ones. We saw it online, photos, events, dinners. She'd post captions like, "Blessed to be surrounded by such good people. Some people are like real family." We weren't in those photos. We weren't in those captions. We weren't in that life. We had served our purpose. We had been replaced. The final betrayal wasn't dramatic. There was no screaming, no confrontation, no confession. It was quiet. It was a message. My girlfriend sent it to me late at night. It was a screenshot of a chat between her and her mother. Her mother had written, "You think they helped us because they care? They helped us because it makes them feel superior. People like that only give when they want to feel powerful. Don't ever forget, no one does anything for free." I stared at the screen for a long time, not because of what she said, but because of what it revealed. She never saw us as kind. She never saw us as family. She never saw us as people. She saw us as a transaction. We gave, she took. End of story. In her mind, there was no such thing as genuine help, because she herself had never given anything without expecting something back. She couldn't imagine anyone else doing it either. People like her don't believe in kindness. They believe in leverage. My girlfriend eventually broke down. "I don't know who my mother really is," she said, crying. "I feel like she's two different people." She wasn't. She was one person. The same person in every situation. A woman who loved money more than people, who loved benefit more than loyalty, who loved advantage more than truth. The only thing that changed was the mask. With some people, she wore kindness. With others, she wore helplessness. With us, she wore gratitude. Underneath, it was always the same face. Cold, calculating, empty. People ask me sometimes, how can someone be like that? How can a human be so cheap? I don't think she was cheap. I think she was expensive. Too expensive. Because being close to her cost everyone around her something. Money, trust, peace, self-respect. She took pieces of people and turned them into stepping stones. She climbed with them. And when she reached a higher place, she never looked down. She never looked back. She never said thank you, because in her mind she didn't owe anyone anything. We were all just part of her strategy. Temporary, replaceable, useful, until we weren't. If there's one thing I learned from her, it's this. Evil doesn't always look like a monster. Sometimes it looks like a mother. Sometimes it looks like a friend. Sometimes it looks like someone who says, "I'm so lucky to have you," while silently thinking, "I'll use you until there's nothing left." And the scariest part, you don't see it at the beginning. You only see it at the end, when you look back and realize every smile was a calculation, every tear was a tool, every "I need you" was a transaction. She lived two lives. One that everyone admired, and one that destroyed anyone who trusted her. I met both, and I'll never forget either.